Same show with different
Yeah,
clips.
we're on. And it's the Dirty Three. I know there's only two of us. I'm Joe,
And I'm Ryan.
and we're not right in the head.
That's for sure. All right.
And I want to show you how much we're not right in the head. So earlier this week, you guys all know we posted our first video. We had magic clips and this and that. We got a great response from everybody.
We're out there. One of our clips almost got 600 views. And I don't know if it was just Instagram bots trying to make sure we're not, getting our,
Whatever
thing
it was,
canceled.
we want to say thank you to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I want to put something out there that's
I'm a
it's kind of
skeptic.
funny. And I told you about this earlier. So I text Brian the day after we put this thing out. I go, Brian, we got over 1,000 fucking viewers, followers on fucking Spotify. This is fucking crazy. And he goes, no, that can't be right. I took a picture of it. It shows it. But it shows it with the greater than, less than sign of 1,000 followers.
And he doesn't know what that means.
And I didn't know what it meant because I misinterpreted the fucking greater and less than sign.
He didn't know what it meant.
So what ended up happening is I found out later on that night that we didn't have over 1,000 followers on Spotify. We only had one, and it was me.
I haven't even liked it yet.
We have 3 today, though. We went up by 2.
That's good. And it wasn't still not even me, which is crazy.
I thought you guys would love to hear that we just got our way because we got a lot of views on YouTube for the first video on our clips, and like we said, we wanted to thank you, and I thought that was happening on Spotify, and it wasn't. And I want to give a shout out to Spotify, thank you, and
Yeah, we're here. Follow us. We're on all these platforms, every one of them. And if there's a platform we're not on and you're on it and you love it, let us know.
Let us know.
And we'll be on it too, and we'll love it with you. We're on Instagram at the dirty3_. We're on X, aka Twitter, aka X, aka Twitter. At what? The Dirty3.
TikTok,
And then what? We're on TikTok, motherfuckers.
and that's
We're on TikTok at the Dirty03 because we couldn't get the Dirty3, but guess what? We're still the Dirty3.
yeah, it's no ad on it. It's just the Dirty03 on TikTok.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, people.
Yeah, and we already spoke about Instagram, and we're
also on
all of it.
YouTube. Are you kidding me? Follow us on YouTube, and that's where you watch the full show because that's where our full show will be all the time. YouTube, Spotify. That's where you can find the full show. All the clips will be on social media. His cooking and my good looking. I don't know.
Hey, good looking.
Yeah, I
don't you get
I
cooking?
gotta start doing stuff. I've been thinking about when I drive to work sometimes, just doing karaoke in the car.
We don't want to film that.
I've been thinking about
You
it.
think about it?
Yeah,
Maybe
why
should we
not?
put it up?
Why not?
Well, at least get us a video of it when we put the oh my god, hit the mic. When we put the monitor up behind
I
us,
think it'd
we
be
can
pretty
put that
funny.
on there.
I think it'd be pretty funny.
I would love that to see your
If I went,
driving karaoke skills.
TikTok on live on TikTok for like a half hour or whatever, driving to work.
Now,
and
who do you
just
sing
sang-
most?
and just-
Eminem? What do you do?
No, dude.
No? Aretha Franklin?
It depends what kind of mood I'm in. I'll tell you that. It depends what kind of mood I'm in.
Bruno Mars?
No, I don't listen to any of that stuff.
What are you doing?
I'm an old school hip hop guy. You know that.
I know you're a hip hop guy.
And it depends because I like R&B and stuff too.
No.
I like rock. Depends whatever. But sometimes I just want to hear like some real like rapper shit. Where you get like beautiful rap lyrics. Where you're like, damn, what the fuck did that guy say? And then you have to like think about it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit.
A real MC, real vocals.
And then other times I just want to hear about a guy selling cocaine and shooting motherfuckers.
No, I mean it happens.
I just have my moments.
I want to get high. I want to get high.
But I love R&B. I love R&B music. So I want to hear about a dude like singing about like the girl he lost or whatever. I love shit like that, man. I just love music. I love all sorts of music.
Yeah.
Minus like country music, but I like country music that's not like too flamboyant.
Well, I maybe, because when you think about rock and roll, where it started. It all started, like rock and roll started from country and migrated into, I believe it was called rockabilly. And then it morphed into rock and roll.
Like
but it was a natural progression from that country to the rockabilly to the rock and roll. And it had no gender, it had no race, it had none of that. People were playing all types of great music back in the day. Ooh. I like some of that old stuff. I really do. I can't get involved with the new stuff.
That's that good stuff, bitch.
Yeah. You know, I have trouble with the new stuff. And that's where you come in. You like the new stuff.
I don't. What do you mean?
I mean, you're into...
What?
Well, I can't even say you're into new stuff.
What am I into?
I know you're into... What's that guy's name? Doom? MF Doom?
Yeah, but you don't even know.
I know.
I bet you if I showed you the dude's shit and I broke it down for you, you would think the dude's fucking tight, dude.
Yeah, I mean...
I guarantee that. Because, bro, for instance, the dude I work with, shout out my buddy Rob. Hope you watching, whatever.
Fuck your face.
Listen. All right. I mean, the dude, he's a fan of music, not the biggest hip-hop guy. But he's, a little older than me, barely. He's like in his 40s or whatever. So he's like a alt rock guy, Oh, and like a new excuse me, I don't want to I'm not shouting.
Let me ask you a question real quick. You said rock guy. There's no modern rock today. What's he listening to today? There's no modern rock. Rock is dead.
Well, first of all, it's the shit he was listening to before. So, like System of a Down stuff.
Okay, so he's listening to old rock.
Korn,
he likes that grunge.
Slipknot. It's more new metal.
It's not really new. It's old. System of Down.
That was a genre that type of shit.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
So you know what new metal has elements of? Dude? Rap. Because these guys are rapping. But guess what? All the other guys that are doing years ago.
Well, like Linkin Park and shit back in the day?
That type of shit is new metal, considered new metal. Yeah. But guess what these guys were doing back in the day also? They're rhyming their lyrics. So isn't that considered rapping?
Well,
aren't all these guys rapping?
Well,
go back to the
back to the beginning of rap, and they were sampling all rock and roll beats.
Pick any song.
Yeah.
Pick any song that you like.
Rap and rock.
What's your favorite song right now?
I don't have a favorite song right now.
Right now, just what song have you been jamming in your car? The most. If you could play a song right now to drive to, right now, to go take a 45-minute drive to.
Elton John, Candle in the Wind.
There you go. What is he saying?
I don't know.
What are the lyrics?
I can't hear them. I'm deaf.
Well, you're not helping this conversation go, Joe. You know that? When you say shit like that, you're not helping me.
But you know this, man.
I don't think I even know the song. I don't think I've ever even heard that song before.
No, it's about Marilyn Monroe and this and that, and she passed away. It was an older song, but
So that's what you've been jamming to is Elton Wind?
No, I never liked Elton John in my life, right? But I went out to Vegas one time at Caesar's Palace, and I got offered tickets to go see Elton John in concert. And he's 82 years old.
And he came out in the thing.
And he come out and he's playing all these different jams that Benny and the Jacks, all that shit.
Jets,
I'm like,
Jets.
I haven't heard that shit.
The Jets.
It's the Jets, right?
Not the Jacks.
I say the Jacks.
Because you're an idiot.
I'm fucked up.
Because you're fucking stupid.
Benny and the Jacks.
That's what's the problem with us.
But I'm saying is, I was never really a big fan.
What Benny and
but
the Jacks?
That live music inspired me, and I started listening to a lot of his music.
Yeah.
Because he's a talented individual. It's like...
no, the guy's incredible.
Like
man.
Phil Collins, he's another talented individual, can play multiple instruments.
He's insane.
And those guys inspire me.
Yeah, he's insane.
Those are guys that I think in music. And then when you get into it, I also liked a lot of the early rap guys that were really doing stuff. I mean, obviously Run DMC and stuff. But then when you get past that...
Deedus.
You got Big Daddy Kane. You got all... I mean...
I'm Raw. R-A-W.
It's the B-A-G-D-A-double-D-Y Kane in the place.
Motherfucker.
Serving many, if any. I mean, that's just... And I love that. And, Bismarcky, even that stuff. I mean, LL brought it all.
You
radio
got
play.
what I need.
And you say he's just a friend.
And what?
And then LL brought a lot of radio play to rap at that time, because before you only listened to, I don't know if you're familiar with 88.9 at night.
Mama said knock you out. No, I'm just kidding.
But, you know, and he brought it, because Run DMC was doing their thing, and they brought in, and then we're going to go back to that
every time you mention a rapper, I'm just going to spit some shit that they said.
I mean, Walk This Way came out in the mid-'80s with
Talk This Way.
You know, and those two iconic bands, and they brought both of them back to life. And rock and rap has been mixed together.
Just give me a kiss.
Quite a bit. They definitely. And there was quite a few rap rock infusions of hardcore metal bands back in the 80s and 90s that were rap related.
Well, you had Ice-T. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Ice-T, I tell you,
Ice-T was doing that with body bags and shit and whatever. What the fuck was his name of his shit?
Every early rapper, right, in the 80s.
Jesus, everyone's screaming at me right now.
Their music was dubbed off of rock and roll. Because there was no other rap to sample. There wasn't a whole lot of, there was disco, and there wasn't a whole lot of R&B. So they sampled all rock albums.
Ice-T, he was talking about killing
cop killer
police officers, and now he's on TV playing a police officer.
Yeah, and then he played a cop on TV.
And he's a millionaire. Good for him. I mean,
I love him and his wife Coco.
He made so much money off that fucking show.
Oh man,
that he can just laugh about it.
He's an OG. He's an OG.
You know the crazy thing is he got this big mantra being like this big West Coast rapper.
Oh.
But he's from New Jersey. You know what's crazy is some of LA's biggest rappers aren't even really from LA.
Now, have you seen the movie?
Isn't that crazy?
In? Did you see the movie?
That's
his first
fact.
movie?
See, that's a fact, and he doesn't know enough about that to challenge that. But I'll put that out there. A lot of LA's biggest rappers aren't even from LA, and I'll let everyone sit on that.
Tupac lived in fucking Baltimore.
Baltimore.
We all know that, and his family moved out to Oakland.
Guess what? Who else?
We were talking about Ice-T, and his first role in the movies, I think, was the movie Beat Street. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They even have a song on it. Beat Street, the king of the beat.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they came out with Beat Street. Then they came out with Ozone and Turbo, Breaking 1 and 2.
Corrupt is not from California.
I'm sorry, I'm a little older
Exhibit.
than this kid. He wasn't even born when Beat Street was around. He's like, Mama, get me born.
That's true. I'm not... He's a lot older than me. Clearly, you can see that in the camera. But...
I'm a lot older and a lot better looking. So now we got that out of the way. Let's talk about...
As you can see that my hair looks... He has a hat.
No, we still have the same hairline. In fact, his hairline's a little better than mine. Actually, a lot better. I don't got that widow's peak. I got no peak. I've got no peak.
All right.
Let's show the people.
No.
Let's show. I got no peak.
Oh, no.
Right, there we go.
No, you can put it back. Please put that up.
Oh, my God. There's such a glare. We got to get this off.
Yeah, put the hat back on. Oh, thank God, everybody.
All right. I couldn't see. It was a solar flare.
Yeah.
That was my Krillin representation. If you don't know who Krillin is,
call back to Dragon Ball Z.
And
that was a destructive.
We haven't talked about any anime.
That's because we're two grown men.
And I'm gonna tell you, I got guys in my work, bro. They're all 20s, 30s. They're into same like you,
and
they catch me watching it. Even the guys in their 20s, they go, "Wow, you're like a cool old dude." And I'm like, "No, I just been watching this since I was a kid like you, and I got old."
It is what it is. It's all how the culture works and the shit that you like, bro. Because think about it this way. You like hip-hop, right?
No.
You like fucking this, you like that. It's just all in the way the shit works and living.
And I can tell you, when I liked it, when I liked hip-hop, a lot of people said I shouldn't like it.
At the end of the day, cool shit will be cool at the end of the day.
I wasn't the cool kid listening to hip-hop when I was younger. They had a lot of names for people like me. And they weren't good ones.
Even the coolest guys in the world that are fucking, I don't know, dudes that are fucking real douchebags. What are you watching anime? What are you, a fucking loser?
Yeah.
What are
you're always going to have haters.
What do you got, cartoons on?
I was just original and didn't care what anybody else thought, and I'm still that way.
You're just not pounding pussy all day, kid? What's the matter with you? You want to watch fucking cartoons, dude? I'm just pounding puss.
I still watch fucking cartoons. I'm a fucking big kid.
You know,
I love cartoons.
It's just people have other things to do.
I still play video games.
I love playing video games.
You know?
I've been trying to beat Red Dead Redemption again, and unfortunately I
got to a point where I fucking got hung up. Go ahead.
I couldn't save Arthur, unfortunately, and I'm sorry to spoil that for you, but
you were playing it all week, weren't you? You're playing it
well, after the camp, after episode 1, you know, we talked about it, camp.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they know about that. So when we were reined
we can
in...
continue to talk about that. That's fine.
Well, when we were reined in, I was playing a lot of the South Park game to pass the time, because we were reined in the house.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, and it's old, and
right?
it's old
well,
school.
I beat it.
I like it.
I finished it.
Yeah.
So I beat it.
And it's easy. We can all follow it.
I've been trying to beat all the games I have, because I realized that I have like almost 500 games downloaded, dude. Well, not downloaded, but on my system in general.
I'm still trying to beat my meat.
And well, it's I've had PlayStation Plus for 15 years. So I've been able to download every free game every month, every time for 15 years. I've downloaded every game.
Oh, you've downloaded every game?
Every.
Oh, you're a fucking nut.
Fucking.
Some of those games just absolutely blow.
They're all garbage. But I've downloaded.
But you play them too?
No, I've probably tried them once. If not, I'd add them in the library.
Now, do you clear them?
And
You keep them?
No, they're in my library.
So you keep them?
I have access to them at any time.
Why do you keep them? Is that kind of like a hoarding thing?
In the video game sense, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
It's internet
and
hoarding.
You're not going to play them ever.
Maybe.
Bro, they suck. That's why you put them in the library.
I try all of them. I want to beat them all.
But if you don't like the game, there's
and
no
then
point
the worst part is I pay for the most expensive PlayStation subscription.
Yeah.
So it gives me access to their whole library of games that they let you play for free, or play for their subscription for free. You ever seen Assassin's Creed before?
No. Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed.
So that whole entire franchise.
Oh, that's a fantastic franchise.
I'm saying is basically downloadable for me at any time I want. So, but the only point I'm talking about, and we'll cut this shit off after.
But you can play it.
But I played my favorite video game ever for PS5, even though it wasn't a PS5 game, because of that subscription, which was the game Ghost of Tsushima.
It sounds complicated.
It's a game about a samurai character.
I get that.
Fighting off the Mongolians, and just the aesthetic of the samurai combat. Because it's like a PlayStation 4 game, PlayStation 5 game.
So it's got all the moves.
Bro, it's not even that complicated, where it's like a simple L1 to like dodge a regular sword attack. And then you cut again with the quick attack with like square or whatever. And then you back out with like circle, sing. And then the guy maybe attacks. I mean, if I downloaded the game and showed you the game, bro, you would... Anyone that appreciates Japanese shit...
I mean, I like fighting games, period.
And samurai shit.
Yeah,
I love... when I think about combat, I think about wanting to stab a motherfucker.
And they got great
Not
swords.
wanting
Samurai
to shoot
swords
motherfuckers.
Awesome.
It's more impractical to me to want to combat somebody with a knife or
And the enemy is the Mongols. No one liked them. You know? We're talking about Genghis Khan?
Yeah. No, okay. I thought I heard walking.
But,
No,
video games are great. And that's a free game that you downloaded?
Well, it's not necessarily free.
All right, so we're telling everybody we recommend PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. For the millions of people that already have PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, here we are plugging it. Yeah.
Get your subscription now via the Dirty 3.
You know what? Subscribe.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah, tell them.
Why wouldn't you? Tell them
we told you something you knew 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe even longer. That's a beautiful thing over the internet. It just goes worldwide, you know. Hey, if you didn't know about PlayStation Plus in there, you know.
I mean, I have a PlayStation 4. I haven't got the 5 yet. I just don't find it. When I even got the PlayStation 4, because I always played games younger and I was always on that shit, even into my early 30s, and then I started getting away from it for some reason because I just didn't have the time. And then I got it back and I was like, oh, I got the time, and I never, ever have the time. And now I have even less time because we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I just wish I didn't have to work and I was wealthy.
You know, when we're not recording, you could come home and we could set it up for you where you could play your video game and go live on like YouTube, on your own personal YouTube account, or you could go live on our channel and go live and play a game.
Yeah, my gamesmanship is personal. It's me. It's just me 1-0.
I'm just saying you could do that. We could both do that if people really want that. We have to have.
If that's something.
If the fans want that, when we're not doing our show every week, in the in between stuff that we're putting out.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. This is not the only thing we're doing. We have a whole brand. You know, we're just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks. And right now, this is a
we're
really
live,
fun
baby. Not live, but we're live.
You know, the Dirty 3 is real.
Yeah, we're real.
The third person isn't, but the Dirty 3 is real.
I don't have a tag for we're real. We're real like McNeil.
But we have a long range of topics and things, because we have a lot of things that we're into, like fantasy football, fantasy basketball. We're into sports. We're into music.
That's what's happening. It's right around the corner. Football's right around the corner. So
we can't wait. We can't wait.
So today is what?
It's
the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Should I show everybody this watch? I can't tell June. Time. What time does that say?
I don't know, you fucking idiot.
Everybody that watch.
So it's June, and it's the first of the month.
It's the first of the month. So the
beautiful part of that...
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Is that it's a whole nother month, and we're that much closer to getting through summertime.
Oh, man. The good sports are coming, people.
No, it's not.
Yeah, what we're watching now is garbage.
It's dark times right now in sports because the NBA finals are upon us, which is a good thing. But the problem is once those games are done,
it's just baseball and WNBA.
Be baseball and racing.
And racing, yeah. And let's talk about racing.
No, we're not. Listen, the WNBA.
We're not talking about the WNBA. We did that last time. We did the whole case.
I'm not talking about the WNBA because there's no reason to talk about the WNBA. So we're going to put that to bed,
right?
There's no reason to harp on a sport that
doesn't even make a profit.
We
can talk about racing real quick, and then I'll fall asleep.
Not that that's any better, but there's a million other things going on.
But that's probably the most popular sport in the U.S.
Is what, WNBA?
Racing.
No.
You know how many people in the Midwest really are into that shit? They sell out giant fucking racetracks. And me personally, I respect the sport.
Have you ever been to a NASCAR event?
No, I haven't. And people said I should.
Again, shout out my buddy Rob. He told me about a NASCAR party. Bro, my buddy Rob would be
now, does he go up to Loudon, New Hampshire?
I can't speak for him. He might have before. But
where's he from?
My buddy Rob's from Melrose, dude.
Oh, so he probably, if he's watching a race, it's up in Loudon, New Hampshire.
He's from out here. Yeah, he's from out here. He went there because of the party.
It's a weekend party.
He heard the party is popping, and he's just
girls are popping.
Well, that's not. Listen, his wife watches this show, and his wife went with him to those events.
And she probably had to slap him around.
I'm sure that happened.
And he was wearing sunglasses so she can't see where his eyes are going.
Wear sunglasses. He likes to wear white frame sunglasses, and it's the funniest thing. Because when I walk in places with him, I'm like, yeah, I'm walking into this place with this motherfucker with the white frame sunglasses on.
I can tell you this right now, personal experience. Whenever I go to the beach with the wife, the first thing I do is go to a place and buy sunglasses. Because otherwise, she's going to see my eyes roam. And I'm sorry, I'm a man, my eyes roam. Just because I'm looking doesn't mean I'm cooking.
And he's from Rome.
And sometimes my neck hurts from this all day.
His neck is from Romania.
Yeah. I'll never forget the first time me and her went to the beach. And I didn't have sunglasses, right? And she goes, are you really going to look at every girl on this beach? I said, no, hold on. So I went to the store, I got the sunglasses. I goes, now I'm not looking at any girl.
You did it on the beach?
Come on the beach. Come on. These girls wear, bro, what they wear for fucking bikinis now.
Oh, you went out lately? Wait, you did this lately?
Wow. No, that was just 10 years ago. But
10 years ago?
It feels like it was lately. But now what they wear, bro, I saw a bathing suit, right? Where the thing was just like underneath. It showed all the way.
Camera can't see your crotch, but that's
I'm showing it. They can't see it.
God.
All right, thank
God.
And I'm not wearing underwear. And so, bro, I seen this bathing suit. All it did, you know how they used to come up to the waist?
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing actually just covered up the clam. Right? It stopped right at the clam and fucking, you could see everything else. You
and for the people that don't know what the clam is, it's what now?
It's really nasty, snaily.
Well, my friend here is a 50-year-old virgin. He wouldn't know better.
Look, I know a lot about the clam and how to work it.
His name, if he was a comedian, it'd be I Am Clam.
I don't eat clam.
Oh, not no.
Look, I'm a big
Never
clam
mind.
guy. I'm
Scratch
just saying,
that.
all I'm saying is this. I mean, it's like when they're wearing the yoga pants, the sundresses, the whole thing.
All right, hold on. All right, let's fucking
Are we getting somewhere?
change it.
Yeah. You might be offending some
Anyway,
women.
so we were talking about football earlier, right?
Yeah. No clam.
If you're going to build a football team in a way or how you perceive it,
You know what we were getting into, Brian?
it would be, all right, so the kind of the conversation we're having before we cut ourselves off earlier where it was...
Top 5 wide receivers.
Yeah, all right.
That's where we were, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what we were doing.
And we were talking about Jerry Rice, and then
That's
you
the
were
facts.
talking about...
That's the facts. All right,
Yeah.
so...
And we got to get into Megatron.
Basically, what my argument was or is with him, and not in an argument, we're just
Your opinion.
dialoguing.
Yeah.
That if we were going to start a football team, what our top positional guy would be. Who would be put there and why.
And we started with wide receiver.
And it just so happened our conversation went right to wide receivers. It's the sexiest position on the field. It is what it is.
It is.
And for me, personally, we can count this down. And maybe we should write it down and count it down.
Maybe we can write it down. I can write it down. I mean...
Right, why not? Let's keep track so we can be consistent about what we're talking about.
No, we can
Because
write
the
this
people
down.
want consistency.
Okay. We can write things down on the podcast, right?
And if they want consistency, we can be consistent.
And I'll show them the list after I'm done writing it down. The people know. You know?
We'll post it on our Instagram.
Look.
We'll post it.
Yeah, we'll post the top 5 all day.
And we'll post it cleaner. We'll write it down. All right.
Yeah.
So make your side, and I'll make my side.
I'm gonna make top 5 wide receiver. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have a comment,
we probably should have already been a little more prepared for this.
Yeah, we
by the
probably
way.
should have.
So let's talk about it. So we were talking about MF2. Keep writing. Just keep writing.
Please comment your own top 5.
And please tell us who you personally, if you wanted to play.
Oh, it's a contest. Who do you think's top 5 is better, mine or Brian's? It's Joe versus
or yours.
Big.
I mean,
or yours.
Some people might have a different perspective in like who they think is a better.
I forgot about the third person. So your top 5, my top 5,
everyone's top 5,
and at home's top 5.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna put the third category. You guys, we'll fill this in.
Who's your top 5?
All right. So who? Yeah. So that's where we're at right now. So, all right, number 1.
So are we starting right off of wide receivers, or shouldn't we go right with QBs?
Well, we're starting with top 5 wide receivers.
All right. So, but all right, accolades. Do they matter or not matter? Is it all? Is it
winning matters?
Yeah, but what if the talent, right? But the winning didn't translate, kinda. All right, so think about it this way.
He didn't help him win?
So if I'm going to create like a Madden football team, right?
Yeah.
This would be the team I would want.
But you can't go off of Madden stats. You got to go off on real football stats.
No, I know that. All right, so real life.
Real life. We're not talking Madden.
Real life. All right, so if I'm going to pick a real life QB.
But who's your number 1 wide receiver? That's what we want to know first.
Okay. It's Calvin Johnson then for sure, probably, or honestly,
because for me, it's
my number one.
It's Jerry Rice.
My number 1 is a fly guy. I honestly think I would think Randy Moss for me.
I mean, that's not a bad pick, but for me,
I want a deep threat.
Jerry Rice.
Pause on all wide receivers. Number 1. they have to be the guy who can run all the deep routes for me, up routes.
Jerry Rice checks all those
everything,
boxes.
and then all my other wide receivers, everyone else is all route runner guys for me.
Okay, we can have all this talk all you want. Who's your number one wide receiver?
That's just how I feel about it. It's what I just said.
Is it Randy Moss or
yeah, Randy
Megatron?
Moss. Randy Moss for sure. If all the bullshit aside,
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss for sure.
I don't disagree. I think our audience will,
no,
but I don't. I think it's a good one.
If you take the character shit out of Randy Moss,
he set the record for most touchdowns in a year, correct, with New England?
Come on, dude. Randy Moss is
but he had 3 bad years in Oakland.
They call him the freak for a reason, people.
But when he left Minnesota, went to Oakland, it kind of ruined him. He rejuvenated in New England.
Okay, who's your number one?
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice?
Easy. I'm going to make it easy. No one's touched his records. This man is phenomenal.
I'm going to come with a controversial
He also,
next time.
now we can have a controversy about his quarterback being number 1, too. He got the ball thrown to him by Joe Montana.
We're not talking about that. We're talking
Steve
about
Young.
if you're
I like Jerry Rice.
If you were the head coach of your all-time football team, this is who you're taking.
I take Jerry Rice number 1
I agree.
for wide receiver.
I agree. And I'm not even taking, so am I not allowed to pick Jerry Rice next?
Okay. Now we got to get to number 2. We don't know who the fans are picking.
Excuse me.
We don't know who.
So who are you taking?
Who the pick? Comment.
4,
Tell us who you're picking.
3, 2, 1. Is it a draft? Like we are not allowed to draft the guy?
Do you think a lot of people would take Megatron in that area?
I think he is
number 1.
Undoubtedly one of the best picks you could take. Honestly, if it wasn't for what I've seen from Randy Moss,
Randy Moss was a freak. Yeah.
If you scrap Randy Moss's attitude, you have the greatest wide receiver of all time.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Calvin Johnson, with his body type, because he was like 6'5" and like 240, he was a monster, bro. Yeah. And the guy who could run routes, big routes, beautifully. He isn't running in-cut routes.
He played big.
Guy was amazing,
played
bro.
Big. And he retired young.
He got away before it hurt him.
Detroit was killing him.
Of course.
He was the only wide receiver, and he got crushed.
He walked away when he still had his legs and his brain.
And he wasn't the only Detroit player to do that. Remember Barry Sanders?
Shout out Calvin Johnson, man. I'm a Boston guy. I'm a Broncos fan. Dude, for me, you are one of the GOATs as far as wide receivers in my generation that I've ever seen.
All right, let me ask you. Now we're getting to your number 2 wide receiver pick. Is that going to be Jerry Rice or is it going to be Calvin Johnson?
Wide receiver?
We're still wide receiver,
Calvin.
top 5.
It's Calvin then, yeah, for sure.
You're going to do Calvin over Jerry?
Dude, who's playing corner and covering Calvin Johnson, number 2?
No one can cover Calvin, man. All right, so I'm going to put Calvin Johnson for your number 2. And you know what?
I have to.
In the spirit of it, Calvin Johnson's my number 2 as well.
That's beautiful.
You know why?
Because he's a beast.
You're absolutely right. His career got cut short because he had to retire young.
He had to play for the Lions, bro. And then not for nothing, man. Matt Stafford was a good quarterback and all that, but Matt Stafford had only so much time. They only drafted so many other wide receivers that could.
Your number 3 better be Jerry Rice, or everyone's going to get mad. You got to put Jerry Rice number 3 for you. You have to. If you don't, I'm with the fans. In fact, I can hear them yelling on the street right now.
Yeah, but it's like cliche.
Fucking Jerry Rice, you dickhead.
There's no fans, but I want.
You have to put Jerry Rice.
I want the people to understand that I'm not going to be biased.
He's putting Deebo Samuel. He's an idiot.
No. I think if this kid can pan it out.
You're going to tell me Jerry's not a top 3 wide receiver?
Jamar
Chase or Justin Jefferson.
I think Jamar Chase.
They're both fantastic, but
has
they don't
the potential
have the time in
the
yet.
next best thing since sliced bread. But anyway, so if I'm going all time, if I'm playing if I'm playing the video game like I said, and I'm picking my team per position, I'm gonna probably pick Jerry Rice.
I'm gonna take
T.O.
All right, we're gonna go Jerry Rice.
I think I would pick T.O. because T.O.'s bigger and stronger. I think.
All right, you're gonna put Jerry Rice 4? All right, let's go T.O. with the number 3. Let's just say T.O.
I think I love Jerry Rice to death, man. But if you take the character out of it and the problem, if you put the work ethic, say if you gave all these guys Jerry Rice's work ethic, every one of these characters, Randy Moss for sure is going to be the number 1 guy. But then you get a guy like Calvin Johnson and his body, and then you get Whoever I said, what did I say?
T.O. was a head case and dropped a lot of balls while he
T.O.
was in San
was
Francisco.
a monster, dude. But you know that. But you know personally, T.O. is a fucking monster.
Of course. But he choked
He's
when
a
it mattered.
beast.
If that's the thing.
Dude, the guy played a Super
He
Bowl.
dropped so many balls in the end zone for San Fran.
Okay, all right.
And they lost. He doesn't win.
Joe, the guy played
He's
a
not a
Super
winner.
Bowl with a broken leg.
Yeah, and still lost it.
But he was the MVP.
How many Super Bowls did he have?
None.
Exactly.
But how many guys that are great have
he
Super
did
Bowls?
play great.
Bozo.
He played at 80%.
That's not the argument. We're not talking about that. But we're talking about
You're saying T.O. is
fantastic.
better than Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice got how many championships?
If there's a wide receiver,
Jerry Rice got how many yards? How many yards per catch? How many
honestly,
yards
you want to know who my third would be?
already T.O. Now you're talking about your fourth. I got to name my third now.
All right, let me say this. All right, so
we got to get
let
off
me-
you. It's me now.
Hold on. Let me rewind my shit. Wide receiver 1, Randy Moss. Wide receiver 2, Calvin Johnson. All my guys to in cut, and all my in
Your third is T.O.
Antonio Brown.
You already said T.O.
No, I take it
You're
back.
changing it?
Antonio Brown.
All right, I'll put it down.
Listen, if Antonio Brown doesn't lose his fucking mind, Antonio Brown would be the greatest slot wide receiver
I'm not disputing that.
of all time.
But he had
Antonio
enough to break
Brown,
down.
and I love Antonio Brown. I want a bucket hat or a crash out cap on the house because I fucking love Antonio Brown, man. Shout out Antonio Brown, ESPN and ESPN.
You know, and I'm going to have to do this because I'm a little inverted with you. My third wide receiver is going to be Randy Moss. I was almost tempted. And, I mean, before you even write this down, maybe I will be tempted and maybe I will say it. Chris Carter can be my number 3 with no doubt. He can share that spot with Randy Moss.
He's my fourth. He's my solid fourth.
He's a
Hey,
fucking...
Chris Carter's my favorite wide receiver ever.
I loved him. Man, could he catch the ball from any angle. I mean, wow. Can he catch the ball with Chris Carter? He was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
and he
he's a
didn't
beast.
have the best quarterbacks, but he was the best receiver on that fucking team. And I'll tell you what, Randy Moss got a lot of learning from Chris Carter. He had that guy as his mentor on Minnesota. Yeah. Him and Chris Carter were the most dynamic duo.
Like I'm your mentor.
I mean, can you think of a better dynamic duo? Chris Carter and Randy Moss?
I mean, if you give
Calvin Johnson never even had a duo.
No, let's see.
It was Calvin Johnson by himself.
No, I mean he had a couple.
CeeDee Lamb's got a duo this year with Pickens from fucking Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
That's going to be an awesome duo. And then you got Jamar Chase and Higgins. But when I think of a duo, it's Chris Carter and Randy Moss. So if I don't know if you're going to allow me, but I'm going to put as my third pick Chris Carter and Randy Moss.
As a back-to-back?
I'm going to make them my third pick, both of them. They're tied for third.
So do I get it like a fourth?
If you want to put that in something.
No, so who's my fourth?
You got to go with your fourth. I'm going with Chris Carter and Randy Moss.
Who would I say? A.B.? And then, I mean, oh, man, I can't pick Chris Carter.
I might have broke the rules with this.
You stole Chris Carter from me, which was nice because I love Chris Carter to
You
death.
can still call him your fourth. Because you got Randy Moss number 1. I got him 3 with Chris Carter. You can put Chris Carter 4.
I mean, clutch player, all-time great. Fuck, man. All right, I'll pick a guy. He's probably, Julian Edelman, right?
You're not going to go Ocho Cinco or...
No, hell no.
What's
He's on an all-time
Johnson?
Great. Dude, Julian Edelman.
Andre Johnson, who had his career cut short, too, who was fantastic.
Well, there's probably guys that are like... I didn't watch the wide receivers in the 90s. So
but I'm not going to
Andre
disagree with
Reed
Julius
and
Edelman.
Keyshawn Johnson and all those guys.
Keyshawn,
Terry Glenn. I don't
Andre
give a fuck
Johnson,
about none of those
Keyshawn
dudes.
Johnson.
I'm talking about the guys that are the best.
And Cooper Kupp might make the list now.
I'm talking about guys that are the best. So who did I say?
Julian Edelman. You named a Patriot. You don't have a Denver guy?
I mean, Rod Smith is the best Denver Broncos wide receiver of all time.
No, he was fucking like a walk-on, wasn't he?
He was an undrafted player.
Yeah. I love that story.
He's the best wide receiver they have ever had. But they had Demaryius Thomas, who was like a really solid wide receiver.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas was really solid, but his career was fucked.
I don't think he's
he doesn't
the best.
even make the Hall.
I think so because he passed away and all that shit and nothing. I don't think it's because he passed away, but he's a 10,000-yard receiver. He had a lot of touchdowns.
He could have been better.
Well, yeah, if he didn't have Tim Tebow throwing him the fucking ball, dude.
No shit, that's true too.
If he had Peyton Manning throwing him the ball, that guy's career would have been.
We haven't even talked about Marvin Harrison. Holy shit!
That's what I'm saying.
How do we not put him on this?
That's what I'm saying. If you give Peyton Manning, prime Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas, you're gonna make one of the craziest wide receivers ever. Because Demaryius, dude, bro, they used to use Demaryius Thomas in screens. That means that guy could grab the screen, slam you to the floor with a stiff arm, and run past you by a mile. They weren't. I mean, granted, he might have sucked at running routes. I don't know.
Marvin Harrison could be easily 2 on somebody's list.
No, he's for
not
sure.
1.
He's for sure one of the tightest.
Yeah, he's
slept.
So who are you going to put in your 4? We've heard Julian Edelman. We've heard Chris Carter. And now you might even be thinking Marvin Harrison.
Who did I say?
You said Julian Edelman.
Can I go?
Julian Edelman
Can I go with a real wild card
Julian Edelman
pick?
made one of the best Super Bowl catches
Steve
of all
Smith.
time. Who?
Steve Smith.
Oh,
like prime Steve Smith.
I'm not going to disagree.
I want prime Steve Smith on my team.
I love Steve
I like
Smith.
Dogs, and I want prime Steve
He's
Smith.
a dog.
I love that dude,
all right.
man. I want him to be like, ice up, son, when he's smacking up one of the corners.
I love it. I love it. My 4th pick is Marvin Harrison. We started talking about him, and I don't think. I mean, you look at QB wide receiver hookups. Yeah. There's no better hookup than Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison.
But yeah, you're right.
And they're Hall of Famers, and Marvin Harrison, I wish your son was as good as you, but he's not. He's going to be a bust. But that's not your fault.
That he might be a guy on our show one day,
year, bro. But it could be Kyler Murray. You could be right.
Bro.
All right, I made my comment.
You don't know.
Who's your number 5?
All right, of what? Wide receivers?
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson. I'm not going to not leave him in there. Or
you're going to put him in?
Yeah, that kid's incredible.
You know what? I'm going to follow your footsteps, right?
That kid's absolutely incredible.
And I'm going to say Ja'Marr Chase.
Didn't I already put him in there?
No.
Well, it's either one of those guys for me. I thought I
got
him
Ja'Marr Chase.
All right, so let me rewind it, and I would take Edelman out and then put Ja'Marr Chase
I already took Edelman out when I made you put fucking. We put yeah. We put, what was his name now? Why can't I read this? Hold on, let me get this down. I want to read this for you. Yeah, we put Steve Smith in. You took out Edelman. We put in Steve Smith.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you put Justin Jefferson 5th, and I think he should be because he's a new guy. Although he's a new guy,
no,
Ja'Marr Chase also belongs to be 5th.
Justin J belongs in there.
Ja'Marr Chase belongs there.
Because if that kid was staying healthy the whole time, his numbers and shit would be insane.
And okay, so for the viewers at home, if you want to comment and you read this and you watched this segment, please put down your top 5 wide receiver.
Put him in there.
And I'll tell you, next week we're going to do top 5 running back.
We're going to go in there. We can do that right now. But anyway, no, we can do it next week.
Yeah.
But the whole point of this, right, was to get everyone's opinion involved.
Definitely.
And it doesn't need to be the greatest.
No, your opinion. Who's your favorite top 5 wide receivers?
These guys not thinking about like
they don't have to be the best, right?
No.
There has to be your personal top 5 wide receivers.
Who did you see make? I mean, there's catches, and I'm mad at myself for not putting Chris Carter in there because I'm a big.
I put him
Chris Carter.
You want me to put him with Randy Moss at number 1 because I put him at number 3.
I love Chris Carter, but for
I doubled that up though.
I guess
I cheated.
For me, if you take the talent for Chris Carter, he was never the fastest guy, but you can't replace that guy's catch.
His hands,
his catch radius is insane.
I watched the segment. I don't know if you watched this, right? I watched the segment.
So for me, in reality, I guess if I really thought about it, Chris Carter would be my number 1, and Randy Moss would be my number 2, my flyer. And then still AB.
I'm going to let you. I got to say something, and this is about. You're absolutely right about Chris Carter. I saw Chris Carter was a
Calvin
reporter.
Johnson, dude.
He was a reporter at this time, right?
Calvin Johnson, bro.
No, Chris Carter. I'm talking about Chris Carter. He was a reporter, right? And he was reporting on
how do you take
what's his name? Johnson from Cincinnati.
Calvin Johnson?
Not Calvin Johnson, the other John. Who was the Ocho
Chad
Cinco?
Johnson?
He was
Okay.
on with Ocho Cinco. And what they did was they said, "Okay, Ocho, I'm gonna."
Cinco.
They had a ball thrower, the electric ball thrower,
Yeah.
the thing, and he said, "Okay, Ocho, do some one-handed catches." Ocho dropped the ball 5 times. This is Chris Carter retired as a reporter, and he goes, "I'll try it 5 times." The ball thrower was only 15 feet away, so it's humming it at him.
Yards away at 50
And
feet.
Chris Carter 5 times in a row went like this, one-handed, catching them.
That's because he's a
Ocho
beast.
dropped it 5 times. Chris Carter, boom. Chris Carter got hands.
Are you saying he's a fraud?
Wow.
Chad Johnson's a fraud?
I'm saying, yeah, when he came to the Patriots, he couldn't even understand our offense.
Well, he's in Bozo, but
No, he's an absolute fraud.
that's why he's
not on the
he's
top 5.
not
He's
in-
not even
he's
in my
not
top
in
10.
anyone's top
No,
5.
no.
He's
a
not
fraud.
Even, listen to me. He's
Do
not
you
even,
agree with that? Chad Johnson's a fraud?
I don't want to say he's a fraud.
Oh, they did it in Cincinnati. They told him
He's-
to run and
he's
throw him
not-
the ball. He doesn't know offenses. He doesn't know how to run a route. He just knows to run and catch the ball. But you know who loved him? Bill Belichick.
I mean, if we're going to sit here and name 20 wide receivers we're going to pick before him, I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, is he even in your top 20?
I don't think so. Maybe 15.
If you're a Cincinnati fan, he's probably in your top.
Is AJ Green? AJ Green beats him out, right?
Yeah, all day. All day. T. Higgins beats him out.
Well,
Right now.
Jamar Chase for sure beats him out.
Jamar Chase is fucking the number 1 fucking
So Jamar
receiver
Chase,
for
all right,
Cincinnati.
so listen, Jamar Chase for sure beats him out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then like T. Higgins,
Definitely beats him out.
I don't think T. Higgins beats him out yet. T. Higgins needs a little more time
Okay. That's a valid
because
point.
he's at number 2.
Yeah.
Higgins,
That's a valid point.
Higgins was like a number 1.
But A.J. Green definitely beats him out.
Listen. T.J. Higgins was a number 1 wide receiver like one time and is really fast. Other than that, he always had to live in Jamar Chase's shadow.
Joe Burrow being hurt T. Higgins, and then T. Higgins in his contract year,
Jesus
which was
Christ.
last year, he stayed out hurt when he wasn't hurt,
Yep.
fucking around with that contract shit. This year is going to be a
that's
big
true.
year for T.
He
Higgins.
had like COVID, right? He's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
But A.J. Green's definitely better than Ocho Cinco.
AJ Green, he's bigger than him. He's bigger than him for
But
sure.
I would say in Cincinnati history,
I'll tell you one thing.
is he top 5? Ocho's top 5.
I don't think AJ Green is better than AJ Green isn't better than getting in and out of breaks like Chad Johnson was. So you know what that means, right?
Yeah, but Chad Johnson couldn't read the playbook.
A-
All they did was tell him to run. So
Chad
he wasn't really
Johnson-
getting in and out of breaks. He was
Chad
just
Johnson
running.
was an ego guy, but he had great hands.
But he had no skill.
and he had phenomenal footwork.
He didn't have great hands. I just told you a story about him fucking dropping the ball 5 times and Chris Carter catching it. He was a fucking flop. He couldn't read the playbook. He couldn't catch the fucking ball, but they made it work. Because
Make
that's
it
all they
work.
had at the time.
Is Cincinnati that bad with that their number 3 wide receiver all time is Chad Johnson?
And Bill Belichick loved him.
Not even that. He might be number 4 now. They're all time great.
Yeah,
Isn't Jamar Chase is the best guy they got? I don't care what anyone
Jamar
says.
Chase is the best receiver they've ever had.
And then what? Higgins? But I think
Could AJ Green be ahead
AJ Green's
of,
number 2.
Yeah.
AJ Green's for sure number 2. AJ Green's number 1 until Jamar Chase
If you
does
put-
more.
You
but
could
he's
even
still,
put Ocho Cinco number 3 ahead of Higgins because Higgins hasn't played.
he hasn't done enough. But he'll do enough.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
At least Higgins can read a playbook. I don't know.
I agree.
I hate to talk bad about him because.
Not because he could be a
And
guest.
you know what else I hated?
You
The
know-
fucking asshole drove a Prius. I fucking hate him for it.
Whatever. Yeah,
All right, so we did our top 5 wide receivers. We have it written down. I want to show you people. These are.
Well,
this is it.
no one's
It's
gonna
written
see
down.
it. No one's gonna. Do you think they can see that?
No, they just know I wrote something down. It could be a gibberish, but we want
Just
you
remember
guys,
what we said, and we'll try to post it in
put in the comments.
when
please
we-
mention your top 5 wide receivers.
yeah in the description in the video. We'll post it, and then you just let
And
us
then
know.
in the next episode, we'll tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, and then we'll tell you to go fuck yourself. And there's no like 5. I was thinking more like we're gonna build like a Madden team, And I feel like that's what we should have did.
But do you want to do another?
I think we should just build like a Madden team.
So should we do another top 5 position?
I think we should just do a Madden team and build like who. If you're gonna build like a team of Madden players,
An all pro, an all Madden.
yeah, then who would you pick?
Where we starting?
Well, we already kind of flopped that one, right?
Well,
right?
we already know where I'm starting with the wide receiver. It's
All
Jerry
right, so
Rice.
we did that, right? So if anything, I'm taking Calvin Johnson
Yeah.
number 1, and then I'm going with
So,
all the biggest
quarterback.
guys first. Quarterback? Am I allowed to play the game?
No.
Yeah,
You
right.
got to pick a quarterback that you think is going to fucking win the game for you. And if you don't take Tom Brady, you're an idiot.
Probably like prime Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he's such an idiot. It's Tom Brady. Shut up.
Yeah, but I can run
Fucking
around.
can't
I
stand
can
him.
run. The only reason why I'm saying this is because I can run around with Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, you could.
and I can make every throw.
So you're saying that the all Madden
Brady-
team has a shitty offensive line?
No,
we don't need that. It's Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Sit at the top.
no,
Well,
because certain plays in the offense, I can call that a running quarterback plays.
there's a lot of the quarterbacks I'd pick over fucking Aaron Rodgers, too.
Okay, you're
other
right.
than
I'd
Brady.
probably pick Mike Vick or a guy who can really
Dan
run.
Marino. Are you
No.
fucking out of your mind?
He can't run the ball.
He can throw the ball, and he has the quickest release in football history. He doesn't
You're
even
not
need
saying-
an
You're
offensive
not
line.
understanding what I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
you're not
dude.
fucking following. We are on an all Madden team. He doesn't have to run the ball. He can sit in the pocket because you have the best fucking
This
offensive
is why
line.
he could never beat me in football
Such
video
a
game
dopey bastard.
ever. I could
beat
I
you
could go to
all
bed.
day. I beat you with my eyes closed. I run the ball.
We'll play it on
But let's see.
live
So
next
who's your
week.
top running back? I mean, you just took a wimpy ass quarterback. I
My
got
my
Tom
number
Brady.
one running back that I statistically think of all time who could have been the best? AP. Adrian Peterson.
I can't argue that point, but you're
I had
absolutely
so
right.
many
No,
high
I
hopes.
can't argue that, but I
I had so many high hopes for him, but I wish he would have been so much better. But he was just on such a shitty team for so long.
I really
'Cause
can't argue that
The
point.
Vikings were so bad, and
But-
then they got Brett Favre, and then it made it worse because they were all throwing the ball, and then Adrian Peterson was at his prime, and they were all
Adrian
fucking.
Peterson can't catch the ball. They don't throw it to him.
And that's
He's
what
a-
I'm saying is
he's
Brett
an old school
Favre,
running back, and I love
man,
that.
he was the last true back.
No,
dude.
he's not. Derrick Henry is.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, but
You're right.
I'm not picking Derrick Henry, but I do appreciate
He's
the
a
AP pick.
monster.
I do.
But I
appreciate-
think
do
Derrick
appreciate
Henry-
the AP pick.
Derrick Henry is a monster because the kids that play defense now are soft. If you put a prime Adrian Peterson in this era,
He'd be a dominant.
he would
dominant. So fucking dominant.
he would touch them all, and it wouldn't be good.
Me, I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go, and I'm going Barry Sanders.
Ooh. And this, all right,
And I could have
Only-
arguably put in Emmett Smith, but
yeah.
the reason why I don't, Dallas was such a good team. Emmett had no choice but to be good. Detroit sucked so bad, and Barry was good despite of it. He had no offensive line.
why
He
you
had
have
to
to
get
pick-
bum rushed.
That's why you have to pick the real dogs, man, because the real dudes that worked for
The
it,
dogs. You love the
the
dogs.
dudes that work for it are fucking worth it, man. Not the guys that got we have the best offensive lineman in the league.
I
8
saw
years in a
Barry
row.
Sanders run into 8 guys and come out the other side. I've never seen anybody, and my number 2 is going to surprise you, running back
That's
wise.
crazy. You people understand this? What we're talking about? We're talking about men who are grabbing the ball from another men and then bouncing off there and
Bo
then
fucking Jackson
See, I
would
never-
have been the best running back of all time had he not got hurt.
I didn't
that
get to
hip
really
injury.
see it, and I hate to say
My
this,
God, was he phenomenal?
but I didn't get to see it.
Dual
So
sport athlete.
I always kind of discredit Bo Jackson only because one, he plays for the one team that I hate more than anything in the planet is the damn Raiders.
Everybody hates the Raiders. Except for the
I
Raiders.
personally fucking hate the Raiders.
He also played. He's only the second player that played full-time football and baseball.
But guess what?
Deion Sanders was the first. Was Bo the first?
In sports?
Let's talk about it. No, it was Deion.
What do you mean?
Wait, Bo might have been the first. No, it wasn't Bo.
What do you
Because
say?
Bo played for the Kansas City Royals, and he played for the Los Angeles Raiders.
But
He
what do you-
played baseball and football.
Well, there's other athletes that put in the work on all the sports.
No one's ever played on the pro level other than Deion.
That's not true.
There's no one's ever played it. 2 sports.
That's not true.
It is true. Name him.
The guy that was on TV.
What guy that was on TV?
The rifleman, man.
No, he played basketball.
He played basketball. He played for the Red Sox. He played mad professional sports at the same time, and he was acting.
He didn't play for the Red Sox and the Celtics at the same time.
Bro, look it up, bro. He did.
He was a basketball player. He wasn't a baseball player. He didn't play pro baseball.
I'm telling you, dude, the rifleman, dude.
I can tell you right now.
You got to look it up on the computer.
The first player to do it was Dion, and the second player to do it was
probably at a high level. He's probably doing that shit at a high level. No, I'm talking
at a pro level in Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors, guy. The rifleman, brother. He was also the first player in history to break the backboard. I remember reading that shit on there, right?
I mean, he was a great ball player. Chuck Connors was a professional baseball player and basketball player. I have been proven wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Connors is the first dual sport pro athlete. Give him it, the rifleman. Boom.
The rifleman, motherfucker. Who's here? Daddy's home.
He played in Major League Baseball for the Brooklyn Dodgers and Chicago Cubs, and in the National Basketball Association for the Boston fucking Celtics. And if you look at Chuck Connors, bro, you don't want to fuck with that man. He is the rifleman.
He is the wolf.
I fucking love that you got that out of your
right
ass.
Now.
Dion was the second player.
If he was alive, he would shoot me right now for talking about him right through the window.
You know who else could have played both sports? He could have played basketball and I believe baseball. Was Danny Ainge for the Celtics.
Maybe.
No. He was recruited for both.
Hey, but how... Come on.
Come on,
dude. How right was I right there?
You were right.
You're mad about that, ain't you?
I swear to God, I want to slap you right across your face right now. I fucking love it. How did you pull that out?
I do my research, brother. I do my research.
And you know what? I'm actually a fan of that. I watched that show, The Rifleman.
I do my research, kid.
Oh, listen, man.
I might be
I knew he played for the Celtics. I knew he played basketball. I didn't know the baseball.
Also, if you read his bio more, I read his bio a lot.
He plays football, too.
He was the first. He did play football. Yeah. But he was the first player to ever break the backboard.
Yeah, that's what it said on there,
in a professional game.
Yeah, he fucking plays everything.
The guy's incredible, dude. He might be the greatest.
He might be the greatest.
That guy's the greatest. He might be the greatest white athlete of all time.
Bro, he was also drafted by the Chicago Bears.
I'm telling you.
And he never played.
Chuck, man, if you're a Connor and you're related to Chuck Connors, man, we want you on our show because I love Chuck Connors.
So he's really a three-sport athlete. He got drafted by the Bears but didn't play. Wow. Chuck Connors, we love you.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you a Chuck fan?
I mean, how can you not be? Holy shit. No, that was something different, right there. This is...
I like to
breaking news. Chuck Connors is the fucking best athlete in the world.
On this episode of Do You Know Chuck Connors?
I mean, I remember the Rifleman. I remember the show.
And there was a major, I mean, I don't say major, but he pulled out a great, what do they call them, spaghetti western?
Yeah.
Is that considered spaghetti?
I don't know if it was spaghetti westerns, but he was a member of a show that was very successful after having a very successful sports career.
Guys, he's
a quadruple threat.
Dream, right?
He's a quadruple threat.
Quadruple.
Yeah, I'm saying quadruple.
Yeah, he had it.
And we've never had anything like that. I mean,
Chuck Connors if you want to be a Chuck Connors,
and
that's phenomenal. Don't be a fucking.
And ladies and gentlemen, feel free to comment. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe there are other two-sport pro athletes.
Well, tell us. Maybe Chuck.
Tell us.
Hold on. Tell me Chuck Connors did more than we don't know about, and that way it blows our mind even more. Because I guarantee,
if you're related to Chuck Connors,
I bet you that.
Tell us your family story.
Listen, Chuck Connors was already doing a lot, but I bet you we don't even know all the shit he was doing. Is what I'm trying to tell you. But, I mean, there was O.J. Simpson, right? O.J. Simpson ran for 2,000 yards in 14 games. Yeah. And the guy was a fun...
murdered people.
But he was also a big-time actor.
Oh, of course. He was fantastic.
But then he also murdered people. And then dodged people. And then murdered people again. And then dodged people again. And
he was
then
multifaceted.
But then you know what he did after that?
Look, it takes athleticism to kill people.
Well, yeah, he had a podcast with his friends.
Does he have a podcast now?
No, he's dead.
Oh.
But you know who Cameron?
From the grave?
You know Cameron, the rapper, and Mace?
Yeah.
So they have a show together.
And they honoring him?
They were bringing him on as a guest before he died.
Nah. I can see that. You want to bring on a guest that has...
Well, Cameron's like
chops.
a controversial dude. And Mace is, Mace, whatever. Can you not put your fucking beer on the goddamn thing?
If we ever get a chance, we're going to interview a murderer.
We'll get... I was hoping Cameron, because that would be cool.
I'm just saying.
I had a lot of questions for Cameron.
I mean, maybe we may not be able to get the murderer, but maybe the guy who drove the murderer. What's his name? Kalen?
Who?
Kato.
For what?
OJ's best friend. He was on to drive the Bronco when they're on the getaway.
Yo, Kato.
Oh, Kato's son.
That was a DMX song.
All right. I don't know why I put a Chinese accent onto that shit. That was stupid. But, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. And I know I said this in the last episode, but I want to say it again. Remember, it costs you nothing to subscribe to our channel. Yeah, just know that you're going to get endless amounts of stupidity from these two stupid assholes.
These two.
And it will make you feel better about your life.
Who's the other one?
He was in the closet.
That's where the third guy is. He's in the closet hiding.
Look, he hasn't come out yet. We're not going to force him.
Yeah. He's...
But definitely, ladies and gentlemen.
God bless his heart.
He's such a good boy.
Yeah.
But we do want you to subscribe and remember,
Mama loves him.
He's never gonna let me put this out. We're gonna subscribe, people. It doesn't cost you nothing.
Listen,
or I have to chop you in the throat. Arr, arr.
Follow us on Instagram.
I wanna
at
be
the dirty3
ninja.
_. Follow us on X. I mean, all the things will be in the bio. Boom. Just follow us on all of them. If you don't like Instagram, follow us on this. Follow us on that.
TikTok.
Follow us on that
Messenger.
one. Follow us on the other one.
Follow us on this.
I mean, we're going to have all the social media. So
And
if you like if there's a social media we're not on and you want us on it, let us know and we'll post our shit on there.
Okay.
We have ideas.
And let's say you're not on social media. Please visit
if you're
us.
Not on social media, go fuck yourself. How are you even watching this video?
No, hold on. We got to prop this up, too. Because let's say you're not on social media. You can also locate us at thedirty3.com. That is our website.
We got a website now.
Yeah, motherfuckers, with the real deal Holyfield. I'll bite your ear off. That's how we roll.
Anyway, this is episode, whatever.
This is episode 3 or whatever.
This is 4. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
We can't even count past 5. Not enough
shout out to the Indiana Pacers. Shout
out
with
your boys.
To the OKC Thunders. Good luck to all you guys. You have a championship to win.
And again, follow us on all social media. We're across it all. Remember, it's the Dirty 3. I'm Joe.
And I'm Brian. And I'm a Barfly V. And all social media.
And we love you.
I'm not on.
Bro.
I think we're still going.